Hi, my name is Kevin Hennessy, and today I'll be discussing the environmental impacts of coal. I will start by addressing the following questions. What is coal and how is it formed? I will briefly discuss the history of coal and its importance today. I will then go into detail about the environmental impacts of coal. I will conclude by discussing the future improvements of coal production and how we as a society are trying to move towards producing a cleaner, more efficient resource. What is coal? According to the International Energy Agency, coal is a variety of solid, combustible, sedimentary organic rocks formed from vegetation that has been consolidated between other rock strata and altered by the combined effects of pressure and heat over millions of years. Coal is widely used throughout the world and is considered the third primary energy source, mainly used for power generation. This illustration summarizes the process in which organic materials, peat, undergo to form coal. As plant materials are buried, they are subject to high temperatures and pressures, causing physical and chemical changes within the vegetation. The quality of coal is determined by types of vegetation from which the coal originated, depth of burial, the temperatures and pressures at that depth, and the length of time for which coal has been forming. The main types of coal, ranking from low coal content to high coal content, are lignite, subbituminous, bituminous, and anthracite. The Industrial Revolution in the 1800s sparked the coal use within the United States. Steamships along with steam-powered railroads became the main source of transportation, coal being the main source of fuel. During the late 1800s, coal became an essential resource for heating and electricity. According to American Coal Foundation, modern coal mines produce about 1 billion tons of coal for electricity and steelmaking. Today, coal generates about 40% of the electricity in the United States. Coal is an abundant, cheap, easy to store, transport, and use, and is a major contributor to America's energy supply. Roughly 60% of U.S. coal is stripped from the earth in surface mines. This dramatically alters the landscape, and some coal companies remove entire mountaintops to expose the coal below. In West Virginia, more than 300,000 acres of hardwood forest has been destroyed because of surface mining. Additionally, a typical coal power plant requires 40 railroad cars to transport 1.4 million tons of coal in a year. These locomotives emit nearly 1 million tons of nitrogen oxides, and an uncontrolled power plant also produces an additional 10,000 tons of nitrogen oxides per year. Coal power plants are the nation's top source of carbon dioxide emissions, the main pollutant that causes global warming. In 2011, coal plants in the United States were recorded to emit a total of 1.7 billion tons of carbon dioxide, while generating 3.5 million tons per year. Coal contains the highest carbon content of all fossil fuels, and in 2012, carbon dioxide emissions from coal represented 25% of the total U.S. greenhouse gas emissions. An important step in reducing carbon dioxide emissions in coal power plants is to increase the thermal efficiency of the plant. Thermal efficiency is a measure of fuel conversion efficiency for electricity generation process, an essential process in burning coal. According to worldcoal.org, the global average of thermal efficiencies in coal power plants is around 30%. New technology is forming that allows an overall thermal efficiency upwards to 45%. This technology operates at supercritical, meaning they operate at much higher temperatures and pressures than conventional coal power plants. Another alternate approach in ensuring a cleaner energy source is to produce a gas from coal. In this process, coal is not combusted directly, but reacted with oxygen and steam, which produces a syngas composed mainly of hydrogen and carbon monoxide. This process is said to produce upwards to 50% efficiency. This is also said to remove 95 to 99% of nitrogen oxide and sulfur oxide emissions. These are just a few examples of some policies and agendas our government plan to integrate. Coal is an essential resource to our everyday life and will stay that way for many decades to come. That is why it is so important to understand that with an outstanding demand for power use, we as a society need to educate ourselves with the risks that come from such power. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.